All right, Crossroad Q's, I have a very, very, very special and very rare offer to bring to you that I'm really excited to even have the opportunity to bring to you once again. So, for those of you that follow our page or our business, you may recognize this. This is the official Nightmare number 9. Nightmare number 9. And don't worry, it's not a nightmare to play with. It's a dream come true if you get your hands on this. So this Q is a Keith Mccready Special Edition Nightmare Q. For those of you pool nuts out there like me, I'm sure you remember the famous phrase that was coined by one of our favorite characters in The Color of Money, Grady Seasons, who was played, of course, by the world-famous champion himself, Mr. Keith Mccready, also known as Keither with the Ether, or the Earthquake, for his aggressive champion playing style. So if you don't remember this cue, I'll give you a little bit of history on what it is, and then I'm going to tell you why it's such a special offer. So it is made by Gary Langley. Gary Langley is a very good personal friend of ours here at Crossroad Cues. Gary makes Keith Mccready's playing cues, and they partnered on a project of very special cues, this being one of them. And Keith was very strict about the fact that he would only put his name, which there's Keith Mccready's name right there, and of course Gary Langley's name. He would only put his name on a cue or even play with a cue or endorse a cue if it was made to his specs. So he had a few different specifics. Okay, number one, Keith only plays with cues that are forward balanced. Okay, so there's your balance point right there. See how it's forward weighted, forward balanced. Okay, the butt on this cue is 15.7 ounces, so it's a little bit heavier. Not real heavy, but a little bit heavier. You could add weight if you wanted to. It does come with a 3/8 modified pin. But anyway, Keith says a cue has to be forward weighted or it just doesn't have guts. Okay, the other component to it for Keith is that he likes one of the shafts to be a 1/2 inch longer. So it's a standard size cue, by the way, with one shaft. So you've got 29-inch butt, 29-inch shaft. One of the shafts is a 1/2 inch longer. Keith says if you're making a longer shot on certain tables, that comes in really handy. So Gary went to the drawing board and he came up with a cue that was approved by Keith to his specs. Now, Gary is no novice. One of the things I really like about Gary, his work is the work of a true custom cue maker. You won't see another cue that looks just like this outside of this very small series. So this cue is number 9, and I'm going to show you the letter of authenticity in just a minute. It has Keith's signature, and there is the character from the movie The Color of Money, Grady Seasons. Remember the line? It's like a nightmare, isn't it? Just keeps getting worse and worse. So the series itself, so far, up until recently, there was only 12 of these cues made total, and each one looks a little bit different. Each one has different color veneers, and so on and so forth. And then the last few that were made have different inlay work in the butt sleeve. So in actuality, just like this cue, I believe there is 4 or 5 only, and there's no other ones with the same color combination. As a matter of fact, one of my customers here special ordered the number 13 cue, and it's just about completed. Gentleman out in California as well. So as of right now, completed, there's only 12 of these, and Gary is not going to make very many. I believe he said something like potentially maybe only 25. And again, all of them are a little bit different. So very, very, very collectible in my personal opinion. Although whoever gets this, you're going to want to play with it. Gary, you can look up Langley Custom Cues. Langley Custom Cues in Indiana. Gary does very good work. His first priority is the hit and the playability. Gary's a good player, and he goes for the hit. So you're not going to just get something that you're going to want to throw into a rack. So this has a really nice leather wrap. I don't know what type of leather it is, but it's a really, really good quality leather wrap. So this cue was sold to one of our clients here at Crossroad Cues. These cues went for $25.75 plus shipping, so I think he had somewhere around $26.50 in the cue. He got the cue, only played with it a few times, okay? So it's basically a test hit. He changed the tips to Kamuis, and there are only, just a couple, when I say minor scratches just in the clear of the butt. You can barely even see them, but we're full transparency here at Crossroad Cues. I would give this cue a 9.5 to really a 9.9 out of 10. You can barely see anything there. And again, the shafts were test hits only. The cue comes with a letter of authenticity. You can see here, signed by Gary. It's got Keith's beautiful face right there from the movie The Color of Money. Then, of course, it bears the Gary Langley Custom Cues logo. How cool, how collectible. If you are a cue collector, a player, a pool enthusiast, a Color of Money fan, you gotta get this bad boy into your collection. It comes with a signed picture of Keith Mccready. The picture got a little bit bent up in shipping back to us. The gentleman that bought this cue had some unforeseen financial troubles, so he sold it back to us. That's why I'm so excited that we have the opportunity to offer it to you again. And anyway, the picture is signed. Keith personally signed these and sent them to us. Look at that, Color of Money with the champ himself, Keith Mccready. Keith's a great friend of ours, by the way, and you can't meet a cooler guy, a nicer guy, loves to help young players. He'll talk to you on the phone. He's very approachable, and by far one of the most exciting and charismatic pool players to ever play the game. Keith is a living legend of this sport and a great ambassador. Can't say enough good stuff about him or Gary Langley. So this is just such a cool combination. And again, there's not going to hardly be any of these ever available. We are the official dealer of these cues at Crossroad Cues. This picture got a little bit bent up in the center, but it's nothing that a picture frame wouldn't fix. Check that out. What a cool bonus that is. We're going to do this cue. And by the way, the butt is 15.7 ounces, forward weighted, of course. These shafts are the type of shafts that dreams are made out of. I'm telling you guys, if you like the really nice ringed up shafts, very, very, very heavy in growth rings and heavy shafts, 4-ounce shafts. You can't find shaft wood like this. Gary pulled these out of a really good stash. Both 13 millimeter, both 4 ounces. Just a perfect combination. I am going to quick sale price this. I could easily sell this cue again for $2,500 or more. People have been messaging me, asking me over and over and over again, are you getting any more of the nightmares? Are you getting any more of the nightmares? Look, we're not greedy. I want this to get into the right person's hands, someone that's going to enjoy this cue, and it's a pleasure to play with. I guarantee you that. I'm going to do it for only $23.75 plus the shipping. Only $23.75. It will be on our website, crossroadcues.com. We also have a firm where you can buy now, pay later. You can get 0% for 6 months. And we are by far one of the most reputable custom cue dealers in the country and also the world. So there you go. The Nightmare number 9 by Mr. Gary Langley, available again by happen chance. My goodness, take advantage of this opportunity and get this into your collection. Nightmare number 9 at crossroadcues.com. It's like a nightmare. Just keeps getting worse and worse. That famous line by the champion himself, Mr. Keith Mccready, a.k.a. Crady Seasons.